Alrighty, so today we are going to be talking about categories that specifically need some attention or need to be buffed. Now, when it comes to criteria for this specific, list here that I've assembled 5 teams that I think people want to use. That is one big thing, right? Like I could sit here and talk about like low class warriors and teams like World Tournament and teams like other World Warriors, but I don't know necessarily if those are teams that people really are, like there's not much demand for buffs towards those certain teams. So that is why I kind of want to keep us all on the same page here. We are going to be restricting these to teams that are pretty exciting and people like the characters on them. And another quick criteria is a roster can potentially be good, but they could be missing a leader skill unit, right? The last category that we will be looking at has a phenomenal roster, but the issue with it specifically is they just do not have a leader. So I'm sure some of you know what team that is, but if you don't, then you'll be in for a surprise if you will, right? So before we get started with today's video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you are new, so that way you don't miss out on any of the Dokkan content that I post. We do lists like this and stuff all the time, as well as beginner's guides, intermediate player guides, endgame player guides, all of those fun things. We cover Dokkan every single day on this channel. So let's go ahead and get started with the list. And the first one that I have is going to be the Vegeta's family team. Now, you might be thinking like there are a lot of good Vegeta family characters, and you might be right, but the issue with that is this team, just when it comes to synergy, is a little bit wonky, right? Like this, so like if we just look at the leaders on this team, right? This Vegeta is very good, but you are taking advantage of the Super Saiyans category that he leads as well, not just the Vegeta family portion of this, right? Because if we pull this bad boy up, let me just not sound silly here. Yeah, we have Super Saiyans, right? I just wanted to make sure. But with the Vegeta's family team, right, it's like you see this character, very good. Evolution Blue Vegeta, very good. We have Namek Vegeta right here. He's okay, right? And then we kind of get in down here, and then it's like, ooh, right? And we're waiting for some easy A's. These guys are going on the Heroes team, right? We're still waiting on his easy A. So a lot of potential here, but the issue, why I'm really focusing on this team specifically, is just the fact that there is a major discrepancy between these characters, or between these family teams, right? So you could see here we have the newest LR on the Vegeta family team is Sword of Hope Trunks, who released in September of 2023. So with that being said, it's been over a calendar year, right? We are in November, almost December of 2024, and we have not gotten a Vegeta's family LR. Right? We got the buffs for this guy, but that doesn't count. Those are going to go away. So that is why I'm talking about this team specifically, because if we look at the Goku family team, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six summonable LRs for the Goku family team. And even this team is missing a leader, right? This is not the team that I was talking about, but this team is also missing a leader as well. So this is a really good team right now because of the buffs on this AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but it is not something that is going to be relatively consistent throughout the whole rest of time, right? You just look at the amount of characters that this specific team has compared to the Vegeta family team, and that is why I'm sort of harping on this, right? Because we just have so many more characters that are on the Goku family side of things compared to the Vegeta family side of things. And I know Vegeta's got shooters out there. He's got a lot of fans, and I think it would be fun if we were able to use more Vegeta characters, right? Maybe an update to Majin Vegeta, an update to Saiyan Saga Vegeta, right? Like this character is entering almost his 3rd year of existence. This Namek Vegeta was disappointing, unfortunately. This Super Trunks was disappointing. So, like these 3 characters, pretty good, right? This Trunks isn't bad. This King Vegeta's pretty good. This Vegeta's pretty good, and this free-to-play Trunks wasn't bad. But just the overall discrepancy between the Vegeta family team and the Goku family team is why I'm talking about this. Moving on, we are looking at the Potara squad, right? The Potara team. So, what do we have going on with this team? We've got no leader, really, right? This guy is not a leader character anymore. 170 is not the meta. This character, a 180%. I don't know why he doesn't have HP on here. He definitely has an HP stat, I promise you that. An issue on Dokkan Info, but this is kind of the same case when it comes to summonable LRs as we were talking about with the Vegeta family team, right? This character, we're not even going to talk about who this is, but just know they came out at the end of August of last year. So we've gone an even longer amount of time between Potara Patara summonable LRs in that time period, right? So this Vegito, very good. This Rose, pretty good, right? Two very good, I'd say. This Fusion Zamasu, very good. Limit Breaker Vegito, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, these characters work fine together on the Heroes team. Kefla's EZA is very good. This guy's EZA was mid, unfortunately, and we are sort of on the brink of the Super EZA for AGL Super Vegito, and that is sort of what we are waiting for right now. But, you know, a new Super Vegito, that's really kind of like what I would expect for like a new Patara lead, maybe an LR Kefla. You know, LR Kefla has basically become a meme in the last couple years, right? Not onto the level of Kid Buu or anything like that, but we're definitely still waiting for an LR Kefla. I know a lot of people are, myself included. So Patara, this category definitely needs some help, and just because Vegitos and Zamasus and Goku Blacks are really hype, so that is why I think that it would potentially be a really good category to buff. Now, moving on to the next team, we have the Android Squad. Now, the most modern leader for this team is Android 21, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but when we look at the sort of jump between summonable LRs, right? Super 17 came out in 2021, guys. Like, it took almost 3 years to get a new summonable LR for this team. EZAs excluded, right? Because like these two EZAs were really good, right? This EZA is really good for what it is. This EZA was decent for when he came out. But the Gammas and Cell Max, both very good characters. 21 is pretty good, right? Gamma 1, good. Gamma 2, okay. This character isn't really like this is a tournament of power unit disguised as an android, right? Like, they are androids, but you know what I mean. This Super 17 was no good. I think that these two characters right here, this Cell and these androids, specifically could be really fun EZAs. Super 17, even if he gets his EZAs, they want you running him alongside GT bosses. And guess what? Hellfighter 17 and Android 17 from GT are not on GT bosses. So it makes things a little bit tricky. And I know a lot of people like androids, you know? We need a new Cell, right? I know Cell Max, but we're talking about the Cell, right? The one that fought Gohan, Super Saiyan 2, when he was a teen, quote unquote. That is who we're looking for, right? We are not looking for, well, I mean, I don't know, like, we're not looking for Cell Max because we already have him. That's what I'm getting at, right? Like, we obviously, I think more people just overall there's more demand for Cell Max just because he's like the newer form, right? Like, there's people, so it's just like, that's just general, right? Like, more people are excited for Beast Gohan, but Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is the more recognizable form, right? But Beast Gohan is the new toy, so that's why people want it. And it's the same thing with Cell Max, right? So this version of Cell, we definitely need an update for. There's so many different references that they could use for Cell that they still haven't used, especially in terms of the modern animation format. This being like the last, so yeah, this is the most recent summonable Cell that wasn't Cell Max, right? Yeah. So been almost, it's been over 2 years at this point. You know, we are entering late 2024. This guy came out in a little bit before mid 2022. So definitely time for a new Cell and just buffs to this team overall, right? A new Android 17 and Android 18 from the future, or an EZA for these guys, right? These are essential characters to the series, and people really like running the Androids team. So just want that to be out there. I think that this team needs buffs in a major way. Moving on, sticking to the Extreme Class format here, the Wicked Bloodline. I know people love running the Wicked Bloodline, and this is also on the global schedule. I just realized that. Metal Cooler is a little bit older than Golden Frieza. Golden Frieza came out, am I remembering that right? He was worldwide 2022. Maybe am I tripping? I think I'm tripping, but either way, the newest summonable LR on this character is like is old now. Golden Frieza is relatively old in the grand scheme of things, right? Especially with how fast this game moves and how power creep moves these days. This character is pretty old. Metal Cooler is old. Like, we're coming up on the point where we can start talking about it. Like, okay, when are these guys gonna get their EZAs, right? Cooler and full power Frieza. We could start talking about that. We have this version of Final Form Frieza and Final Form Cooler right here for a free-to-play character. This is really cool, but it's just a free-to-play character, right? The Dokkan Fest for Frieza came out. This is a really good unit, but we need help for like Terrifying Conquerors and stuff like that. And he could use a new version as well. Golden Frieza, I think Golden Frieza is like the one character where it's like, okay, we don't need a new one right this second, right? I think that this character coming out during the 9th anniversary more than keeps things together. I wish he would have been a little more Wicked Bloodline focused, but I get it. He was there to bolster Broly and the Super Bosses team, right? Looking at some other characters here, we already talked about Full Power Frieza needing an EZA, and then Angel Golden Frieza right down here is going to need an EZA as well. So how do we anchor this team down? I think the first thing that comes to mind for me is a summonable LR final form Frieza, right, from Namek, right? Not from Hell, not from GT, not from Super. We're talking how I just talked about the Cell. We're talking about the Frieza here, right? The one that inflicted a lot of damage. Not to Goku, well, to Goku, he did. He beat Goku's ass. But he took out Krillin, right? He tried to take out Gohan. He took out Piccolo, etc., 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 right? That's what we need to look at. So that version of Frieza, we need an update for, and we have not gotten it in a long time. So it's, to me, like, people want to talk about like LR Kid Buu being like the most devastating missing unit. I think it's Frieza from Namek, and I don't think that that's probably a cold take, but Frieza from Namek is like the Dragon Ball villain, right? You think Dragon Ball villains, it's like, because Cell is meme to death, so there's probably a lot of people that think Cell, but I would say that, like, you poll 10 people, 6 to 7 of them are saying Frieza, right? Maybe even 8. So that is why Wicked Bloodline needs help. This team is too much fun. Like, people like Frieza too much. People like Cooler too much. People like Metal Cooler too much. People like Golden Frieza too much. This team deserves to be relevant. I really do think that, and that's, you know, not just it's a little character bias, but I think that this team just deserves to be better. So, last but not least, for the bad roster portion, we have GT Heroes. Now, with GT Heroes, we are coming up on over a calendar year between the last LR being Super Saiyan 4 Goku. This character came out in June of 2023. So, and then this character came out during the 8th anniversary. So you can see the 3 most modern we have 3 modern summonable LRs since 2022. 1 free-to-play character, right? We have the GT trio. And I just think that this roster has too much potential and too many fun units to use, where we have to kind of consider these things, right? So these 2 with their buffs are really fun, but again, it's not permanent, right? This character is going to be getting an Easy A towards the end of the 10th anniversary, and they're going to be absolutely wicked, right? Like, this character is going to be amazing. So we just need updates to some of these characters, right? I think we could talk about a Tech Pan Easy A potentially. In Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, he needs his Easy A yesterday. The Golden Week GT units could use an Easy A. And if we just get like a new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta during like the 10th anniversary, and then we can run him next to this version of the character, we're going to be in business, I think, really. Like, we're going to have some real potential here, because there'll probably be like a GT banner unit. We might get some more GT Easy A's, and then all of a sudden we're going to have like 5 to 6 usable characters that's really going to tie everything together. So GT Heroes, this team needs a buff in the worst way, because Super Saiyan 4 is one of the like premier characters and group of characters that people want to use. So that is why I think this team needs a buff. So last but not least, the best roster on this list by far, it's just the leader, Earthbred Fighters. We just have to update this. I don't need to talk about why this category is good. We just need a leader, right? He's old, unfortunately. Yamcha's old too. This Videl doesn't really count. It's a 130, and then Yajirobe doesn't count as well. We need like a true leader for this team, and it would work so well. So that is why this is an amazing roster, just needs a leader. That's literally it. So let me know down below what teams you guys would like to see get buffed. Like I said, we could be here all day going through all of these teams that aren't good right now, but this would be a 4-hour video, and I'm not going to make you guys sit through that. So I'm going to give you guys 5 teams that I like, or 5 or 6 teams that I like, and that is what we are going to do. So again, if you guys have not already, don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy today's video, and subscribe if you are new so you don't miss out on any of the fun Dokkan content that we post around here, or I post around here. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.